Hey guys, this is Elliot Wave Sage. Want to go ahead and do a market update. Like always, none of this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. So the Fed has spoken. They have decided to let inflation, continue. And don't let it fool you. They know what they're doing. They have to make a decision. Um, and I believe the chart, was showing that a key inflection point was met today where the decision needed to be deflation or inflation. And now one side of the market is essentially folding at the table. They're folding. And so this is going to have to play out a little bit. It's going to take time, but it does seem to me that the Federal Reserve really understands that they can't cut rate. I'm sorry, you can't raise rates or be as hawkish anymore. They're out of time, and they don't have the political backing to do anything like that. So they're gonna have to maybe still talk a good game, but even then, they didn't want to really disrupt things too bad today. I would say you got the most dovish outcome besides actually cutting a rate that I think you could have gotten. That's why the markets really rallied hard, and as you know, it did break what I call my invalidation line here. And so I want to go through why I think that again. If you hadn't seen my last video, it really has to do with RSI analysis, guys. So this right here, this leg from October to the late February, this leg here, you see we bottomed here, and then we rode up a wave 3 of 3. So here's your 3, there's your 4, and then here's your 5, okay, and then you topped out here in a sideways correction, and that's all you got. That's all you got. Now, are we out of the woods yet? Not at all, right? Not at all, because this two wave can do a flat. But what I've always said is once you break the high, even if you do a flat, you're going to retake it later, and it's a shakeout. So how do you want to play this? What if it is today was a big fake out day for some reason, and it's a flat? Well, if it's a flat, then you have a nice three-wave move down, and then you have a nice three-wave move up, and then you have your impulse down like that, and put 2 there. So this is very possible, but because we broke the high, this would eventually be supported for much more upside, and the target area would be where 2 ends. So do we know if 2 is over yet? We don't know. We don't know for sure. Now some people could say, well, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that is possible too. So there is another way to label this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and put the 1 there, and then we come back down and out like that. But either way, I don't like selling it. I only like to buy it. So buy a dip here at 38.5, or I would call this as another opportunistic area at 38.3. But it isn't. It's not likely that either scenario will happen. It's the most likely outcome is we've already bottomed. But these are just some bearish alternatives in the short term that can play out that create great opportunity for some really good upside. But I don't think that's going to happen. But I can't be wrong. So do what's best for you. So here you go, guys. So now bigger picture. Why do we think now that we can't? We're not going to just come up here and just still crash the 3, down all the way down. Well, the reason is the wave structure doesn't support it. Again, using my system. Now, your system may still allow that to happen. Elliott wave purists may disagree, but for a couple reasons, we need to think about what's happening here, guys. We have to think about it. So we know this is an impulse. Okay, 5 waves up. Okay. And we know this is 5 waves up here, right? So 5 and 5, but we broke the high. We know this isn't a 4 wave. The RSI doesn't support this to be a 3 and a 4. If you're labeling this as a 3 and a 4, my RSI doesn't support that. This was too much RSI reset in this congested area. It was just a shallow pullback, but it burned a lot of RSI. So this is a reset of the cycle, and I already showed you that's a reset of the cycle. So you have, and so this can't be an A, B, C. In an expanded flat scenario, you have to have 3, 3, 5. So you have 1, 2, 3, but now you took another swing. So could you label this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're in some kind of 5? Well, why don't I not like that labeling? Okay, why do I not like that labeling? So here's the reason why I don't like to call that a shallow 4. One, if you look at that 4 compared to this 2 wave, it's way out of proportion. Okay, that's the first thing. Then let's go to the weekly cycle here. So the weekly cycle here is, if that was a 4, we got to play out the 5. We're going to probably take out that divergence here. I mean, look how close. So to me, we're going to take that out, and once we do that, it becomes a 1-2. It becomes a 1-2. Now, you could make the case for a wave 4. I will say that if we do get a deeper pullback here like this and get this flat, then possibly you can make the case that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then that changes things. So that's the labeling I have for now, given the data I'm looking at. Then zooming out in even a bigger picture, I do like that, from the grand supercycle standpoint, I do like this 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're in a fifth wave, and I do think that we're in a 1, 2, 1, 2, and a 3 of a fifth wave now. And in that we need to see, and we may be coming to, like, if we do pull back deeper, and we can label this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we can make that label in here. Well, let me put that back here. We can make that case. Then we're on borrowed market. The market is going to peak this year in the grand super cycle. But if not, I think it's going to peak after the election, in some point late next year, if this 5 plays out. So what we need to keep an eye on is this RSI. If this RSI keeps coming up and we take out this peak in 2017, then it becomes a 3 of 3. Then there's no more wave 5, and then this was another 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And this would have been the best opportunity to buy the market that we've ever seen in a long time. So what we don't know what's going to happen, and but I do, my thinking is we're in a 5 and we're in a 3 of 5, and we're going to get some separation to define the wave and define if it's going to extend, and then finish off the move. And that's kind of where I'm thinking. To me, what I wouldn't expect would be if we drop back down in a flat. Again, we could call that another 1, 2, but then I would start to lean to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a pullback, right, of some kind, and then another high, and that's all she wrote for the grand super cycle. So, but right now I don't recommend selling based on my system. You have to do what's best for you. I know a lot of people are very scared. This is the most scariest rise I've ever seen in the market. Again, following me, we were long here in this area. and we've stick through it all the way through Q1. And what a Q1 it's been, and it continues. A lot of people, I just you're like angry because I always get a lot of anger when I say the market's going up, and it's because I think a lot of people just want a top ticket, or they're following people that give them bad advice on trying to time the top of a market. I've always said when we get the reversal, the best thing to do is let the reversal play out, bounce, and then short that. Not trying to guess the top, right? Because today could have been a top and a flat, and that would be very lucrative, but may not be. It may be a three. You may be short in a three of three, right? Why would you want to do that? Or even a wave three of five. You want to do that. So we'll see how this plays out, but this is the count, guys. It's not, may not be what you hope. You may make you angry. You may not want to follow me anymore, and that's fine. I really don't care if you don't want to follow me, if I tell you, news that you don't want to hear. I just try to give you my honest, forecast, and again, just kind of, you know, we started our channel in December 2021. I started my channel, and I gave everyone the warning to get out of technology. Now I'm telling you guys, when we got the buy signal with the break of all-time highs, we knew we had to get long, and that paid off. And we're going to stay long until the market tells us otherwise, because this thing could just keep extending. We could get a blow off top of the ages. Who knows? Who knows how high this can go in a blow off top? What if it's hyperinflationary playing out and we just don't realize it? You don't want to be short in this market, guys, right here, right now. There'll be a time for that. And boy, when this finally ends, what a catastrophe it's going to be for many people who FOMO in here and they finally invest. So how do I see the SPY the same, as all the indices here? So we come up, we tag this channel, we end 3 around 620 SPY, we pull back in 4. 2 was a lot of overlap in waves and took time. This 4 will probably be like a straight down crash when it happens. Volatility, Volmageddon, and then we get a 5, and we probably break the channel that I've got drawn here. Maybe if we're lucky, we could hit 700, and then all hell breaks loose sometime around 26 based on this count. Now, if it can extend, it delays it. And then if it's the end of the grand super cycle, we always know the wave 5 of every wave gets wiped out. And we go back to the wave 4 low. If you followed me, here's your wave 5. There's your wave 4 low. So we should at least come back and tag to 218. But more than likely, looking at the structure, we'd go a little even deeper than that, and probably finish between the 4 and the 2, somewhere in this the way these trend lines kind of come together. I like it. I like a bottom somewhere around, SPY 200, 196 when the grand super cycle crash is over. I do not think we're going any lower than that when that happens. So there will be a time. The Bears will have an opportunity, I promise you guys. And man, is it going to be insane when this plays out, because this wave will end. Those guys that are saying, that we're 5 up, yeah, that could have been it right here. It wasn't. So it's extending, but at some point, this thing is going to end. It's going to end. It's not going to just go to infinity. So this will happen, but it's not going to happen now. The market is going to now go trap a lot of people. A lot of money is going to come in and trap everyone. And again, if it's a real nice blow off top, we could really come out of this channel in this wave 5 when we finally finish it up, assuming we don't erase divergence, and then that's it. That's it. So that's what I'm thinking right now, guys. And I know it's hard to hear this news for a lot of people because you want to crash the market for some reason. Everybody wants that, but it's not. That's just not what's happening. It's just going to keep going higher. Don't the shorting the market isn't a good idea right now. Now you're going to get capitulation with this because a lot of people have been trying to top ticket, and this is what I've been saying about this wave structure here and here. These are people trying to top ticket, and again, I've always like, oh, it's going to crash. No, here. No, that's the top. No, really, that's the top. No, I'm serious. Here it is. I'm super serious. I'm I'm all in with my stack right here. Oh my God, what just happened? And guess what? It's just going to keep doing that until we get that separation, which is the capitulation of the short side. And then we'll grow and then we'll top out. We need to see that, and we haven't seen that structure in our wave, even though we've come a long way. And again, we can go back to 2021 and we see the same phenomena because I was trading it. Because everyone here, oh, this is the top. No, this is the top. This is the top. No, no, I'm serious. Here, here, and then, okay, now you got your separation, and then your run, and now you got your wave 3. Now you do your 4s and 5s, and it's over. But still, it's still continued higher in the 4s and 5s. That's what's going to happen here because every one of these little dips here is like a 1, 2, 1, 2. So you're going to need matching 4s and 5s later. All these are going to need matching 4s and 5s later, which will happen up here. But you're going to need, we need some separate, we need a gap and run, and then we know the 3 of 3 is over of this wave. And if you're a bear, you have to pray you don't erase divergence, because if you do, then this bull market will probably extend for another several years, and this won't happen, and I'll have to redo my chart based on that information. But right now, this is what I'm looking at. And yeah, it's just the market wants to go higher. It wants to go higher. And the Fed doesn't want this to collapse. And that's what they were saying today. So let's go through everything. So the Dow Jones, again, it's a 1-2 until proven otherwise. So this would be another 1-2, 1-2, and 3 of 3. So we should gap up, and looks like we're trying to do that tonight. We'll see how we open tomorrow. SPY, the same count. The triple Qs, the same count. Again, a massive impulse with a very little correction. Now, the triple Qs did not take its high out, so wave 2 can continue lower. But these are just buy-in opportunities. These are just buy-in opportunities, but I doubt that's going to happen now. The IWM was a great setup. If you watched my last video, I said, hey, if the Fed was going to be, dovish, this would really rocket higher because rates would drop, and then and then this was in a 1-2 setup for this final pump. So here we are. So what's going to happen with the Russell? Well, maybe when we're trading up at 230, 234 at the Russell, the SPY, is trading, up here, who knows? But I don't know. I don't really care. I'm just going to trade it. I do think the Russell still is a lot different than the other stocks. I really only think you could trade this. I don't see this going to new highs, but technically the X wave can come and break the high, the all-time high, and still have this catastrophic decline, which more than likely will happen as of now, because this is a completely different look than these indices here. But for now, I do believe it's got a 3 coming of a 3. So this should continue to stay supported. Okay, Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, I was mentioning 58,000. We hit that vertical. We're in a wave 5 of Bitcoin. Now, again, divergence can be erased, but see how much distance it has to go. This is not likely to erase divergence. Unlikely. So it's more than likely this is a wave 5 playing out that will fail and drop again. So it, you know, I don't see it just a straight moonshot in Bitcoin, but I could surprise everybody and erase divergence. But I don't, it's going to be tough for it to do that. Now, if this were to be a connector wave, this is the other thing. This could be another connector wave. Then the fork could go deeper. But if it goes any further, then you're at risk for the double top scenario. I've warned you against because you only have 3 up. This would be too extreme. Then you could really open up, So this is pretty important to hold this 60,009. It's even more important to take this high out to negate the double top. So this is well, this is an interesting situation for Bitcoin because it's in an area where the market hasn't decided. Are we going to double top and really rug pull and collapse this thing, or are we going to make a new high and then really pull back again, or are we going to moon? So I think for me, I think it's a 5 and another really nasty pullback. But the 5 could probably hit 80,000 when this is done, all said and done. If it's a 5. Oil hit the sell area we had and just got dumped, and I believe that added fuel to the fire of the market as oil pulls back. We'll see if it can take this high out. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now you don't really see 3 in this wave, so could it still push higher? Maybe, but right now I don't like that. I don't like that setup, so I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. But I may need to look at the label later. But this was a Fibonacci sell area, and it did get rejected. We'll see if we get follow through tomorrow. Silver obviously is good. Metals are going to do great if the Fed is capitulated and inflation's going to run a little hotter than normal or a lot hotter, and they're just not going to really clamp it down. So silver, to me, this again was another either another 1, 2, or it can actually be a 3, 4 of this wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this could be a wave 5. So I'm not labeling it because there's not many options, but I would just stay long it silver and not really look to sell it. Gold's a little different. I think gold's a 1, 2, 1, 2, breaking out in a 3. The dollar index. So the dollar index really surged, right? And that really made some traders afraid. And also, you have to, be honest with yourself. This is just 3 waves up, okay? The dollar index never made that 5th wave down. So I think the way you have to label the dollar index is something different now. We have 3 down, and then you have 3 up, and we're forming some kind of triangle consolidation. We have 3, 3, 3, 3. So you have an A, B, C, D, E, and then bam, down in Y. So all of that is positive for the market on the on this long-term cycle, like the next 12 to 18 months. This is great news for the market if this is the structure. But short-term, it's going to create some volatility, right? Because when the dollar rises, Bitcoin likes to fall, and maybe we got to keep an eye on this, because if this is the right labeling, then this connector should end soon, and we should get a surge in the dollar. This should get a surge in the dollar, and we know the indices go up, right? Because look, the dollar was rising, the indices were rising. So that doesn't mean the indices are going to sell off. It just means maybe commodities sell off, gold and silver sell off, Bitcoin. Maybe those things sell off here when this plays out. Now, if this doesn't happen, then we have to go back to my last count, where we have some kind of 1-2, 1-2, but I don't like it. Or maybe this is a 1-2 like this. That's probably how I label it, like a 1-2. So I'm leaving it like this for now for the dollar, but um, there's a lot of options. Like I said, I could put the 1 here and put the 2 here and 3 of 3. So if we come back and break 102.36, that's where we'll go. And then we'll see a rapid drop in the dollar, which we would see then. We would see Bitcoin really moon, gold and silver really moon. So tough to say, right? But we'll see how it plays out in the next few days. The 10-year never took the pivot, so that's great news for the bulls. And we started turning lower, but we're really indecisive on this long end. So I don't think you're out of the woods yet, but this could easily be labeled as a 1-2 now, and another 1-2, right? And we go lower, which would be very bullish for the market and the Russell, but we didn't really get that big of a dip. So that's kind of a red flag. And again, this could also be, like I've said before, 5 up, and then if that's the case, we do that. That would be very bearish for the market again. So could this finish? The rates go higher, the dollar index go higher, and then the market gets the flat, right? Maybe the market gets this flat in 2, right? A deeper 2, and all that happens, right? All that happens. So that's I'm just giving you. That's not my preferred view for the 10-year anymore, based on how we reacted today. So we'll need to see it play out, and we need to see the dollar play out. But these are the things you could keep an eye on to get a clue about where the market may be heading. But right now, the market has not made a decision. It's kind of like I said, the market's kind of stuck. Like, even though it was really an impressive move, it's really about the follow through we see in the next couple days, because we only have 3 up. So it's really about tomorrow and Friday's trading action to really sort out where we are going, because you could still get that boom, pull down. But like I said, it would be a buy-in opportunity for much more upside later if that were to happen. If we surge out in the next couple days, then that's negated. And I think to enable that kind of surge, you're going to need the dollar index to continue lower, negate my chart, and you're going to need the 10-year to continue lower. And if those things happen, then the market will continue much higher with no pullback. Let's look at the VIX. Hey, look at that. The VIX is heading to my buy area, and this is I do think I wouldn't be surprised to see single-digit VIX. I wouldn't be surprised to see that or test that. But here we are. We've always said not to worry about this, and we knew the VIX. Again, these are clues. And look at this trend line break. This is going to bring more follow-through to the downside. That's going to support the market. So again, I'm more bullish the market, guys. More bullish. I'm not bearish this market right now. But you have to do what's best for you. All right, let's go through some of these other individual stocks that I know you guys like to trade. How's Apple doing? Nice. Looks like a nice little 5-wave move up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, we did erase divergence, so it's actually a 1, 2, 1, 2. So we'll see if we get some real separation. So Apple could be ready for a real nice explosive move higher. Let's take a look at Tesla. So Tesla missed the buy area by $1. The way we reacted off of this area is good enough to call the 2 in, and especially with the indices running. So that looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to me, this one looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like it's going to do something like that. So if you do get this pullback, you could try to buy this against this low for a low risk, high reward trade. Um, so if you're trading Tesla, that's how you want to do it. That's how you want to do it, man. Just like that. Now, if that doesn't happen, it could be a 1-2-1-2, and it just goes um, out of that, comes out of that. But here it is. There it is. So we made it. We got there. We got there. I was hoping to get it deeper, but it just didn't happen, right? The Fibonacci's held. The traders came in and it bounced. So here's your wave. 1, 2, 3, connector. 1, 2, 3, done. Now you're forming either a massive connector all the way back up to this area for massive rejection, or you're going to go to new all-time highs. So this is a good opportunity, guys, potentially here for Tesla. As long as we stay over this. Now, what happens if we lose that low? Well, then this is just a 1-2 of this wave, and so it would extend down to the low 100s. So of course you would want to stop out if you're going to try to play it alongside. But these are just my thoughts. How's Adobe doing? Adobe did not come to our buy area quite yet, so this could actually fool people and drop back down again. But given where the market is going, it may have bottomed here and just truncate it. AMD, I have a very shallow connector here, guys, right here. I'm looking for 148, 150. Why is it so weak? I don't know. What Nvidia's chip must be so good they introduced that these guys can't, like, people are panicking out of it. Now the other thing is this could be one big cycle, and then we could get a bigger connector and then fail. So I don't like trading AMD at all. Microsoft pushing higher. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 of this 3. This I'm gonna negate that because of the indices, and we'll need to relabel. But for the shorter time frame, it's got obviously more upside. Nvidia, you look at this pattern, you want to see that dump to 789, and when I look at it, I'm not seeing it. Could this be some kind of triangle forming in wave 4? It's possible, but it's definitely not the typical look of one. A, B, C. Yeah, I don't like, so I don't know. This is a mess. I won't like trading Nvidia either. Our SoundHound consolidating in another flag. Could we break out of this and get to like 12 bucks? I think that's highly possible, but this would be a wave 5 unless we get really surprised. So you need to be careful if you are in it, because you could have a dramatic drop. But keep an eye on that one as another opportunity. But I like the wedge look. I don't like this look, but you can't argue that it could be pretty bullish still. So anyway, a lot of stocks are doing well, guys. A lot of stocks are really staying supported. Let me see if there's anything else I want to mention out there. ETFs. So I had mentioned SPYD is also a sign that the market is more bullish than you may want it to be, because you have a 1-2, and then this is a clear impulse with a clear 3-wave pullback and a bull flag that you broke out and you just back tested. Okay, you back tested and now you're coming out of that. Look how much room it has to run in wave 3. And again, this is the dog shit of the market, guys. The high dividend stuff that doesn't really move. But what this chart is saying, it's gonna move. It's gonna move, and the only reason this would move is defensive stocks get a bid or rates drop, and if rates drop, then people go into dividend stocks to get the yield because then it's not it's not bonds aren't as attractive. So people come into this. So this either means rates are dropping in or there'll be some kind of defensive trade with rates dropped there. But this is whatever this is pretty bullish for the market because even if it's defensive shift, more than likely that would be just a correction in the market, not a crash. Because if it's a crash, all of this would drop, like here, right? If it's a rotation out of tech, these would run, tech would fall, rinse and repeat. But what this is showing me is we're going to get a wave like this, and this is the whole market moving higher, breadth improving. That's what this chart is telling me, guys. That's what it's saying. Higher highs, and look at all the room it has to go. So anyway, so there's a lot of things to buy in the market when we pull back, and I would be, just keeping your eye on the charts. Listen to my channel. I'll try to give different watch outs, but right now, if this is turned into a 3 of 3, whether it's a wave 5, 3 of 3, or a massive move higher in the grand super cycle 3 of 3, that represents capitulation from the short side, and there's really no reason to be trading in and out of that. You should just enjoy the gains, the easy money, and we'll see if we continue, if this can gap up and run. That's what we're looking for. Now, if we can't do that, we'll have this flat. So, I think that's all I want to talk about today. Yeah, just looking at different. Stocks. Again, nothing's standing out to me. Yeah, we may have seen that reversal in AEHR right there. So keep an eye on that. The other alternative is it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we get one more low, but it's close. Let's see how let's look at China real quick. Take a look at NEO. All right, so NEO, I gave you guys this chart, right? I said, hey, watch out for this pullback in 3 as long as we hold this high. So this could be your last opportunity to go long NEO against this low, like right here, right now. But if this low breaks, unfortunately, it's going a lot lower, I think. It's just a chart. It would be a bad chart. JD hit a long-term buy area. It's starting to come out. Just took some patience. Oh wow, Baidu is in a buy area. It took a little, again, took a while to get down here. Yeah, so this is a W connector, and then up maybe one more low, one more low for Baidu. Again, these have to hold these pivots right here. How about Baba? It's in a lot of congestion. Let's see how's the world indices doing. Hang Seng, yeah, going higher. And this was another clue of where the market was going. Japan, I've got it in some kind of wave 5, but it's still got more upside. I do believe we'll hit 50,000 at some point. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, guys, that's about all I've got today. So I do think, based on the latest data and information, I do believe the market will continue higher and impulse higher, and pullbacks are buying opportunities. Keep an eye on different stocks that you like to trade. Uh, Trade the bullish stocks, buy the dips, stay on the long side. Don't chase. Have your stops, and you'll do well in this market. You'll do well. And today was a good outcome, especially with this Russell play. But I think there's still a lot more room to go, more room to run. So anyway, guys, we'll see how this plays out, and if we're going to get this little bit of a rug pull and a flat, to extend to, or is it really this bullish and we're going much higher? All right, guys, that's all I've got.